If your machine is using Apple's M chip, a lot of the old methods you found on the internet won't work. This video is for you. Let's go right into it. Step 1 is to install a virtualization software to run Windows on your Mac. A free tool will be UTM. So type this link into your address bar, download it from the official website, open it, drag and drop it to the application folder for installation. Now open UTM. You can create a new virtual machine. Virtualization is what we're opting for. You can choose Windows here. This is when you'd bump into an error. You will still need the Windows OS itself to run this virtual machine. Luckily, it's nothing complicated. You can just go to App Store and find Crystal Fetch there. Install. Open it. You can choose your language here. You can also choose your Windows version. But because we're IT dummies, let's keep everything at its default. Just make sure that if you're using a Mac that is on its M chip, the architecture is Apple Silicon instead of Intel. This Crystal Fetch will help you download an ISO file. Consider an ISO file somewhat like a CD, an installation CD that you would normally have. When the download completes, you'll be prompted to move the file to a new folder. Now let's try again. Under Boost ISO Image, you can now point to the file you had just downloaded. Now you can finally set up your machine. Assuming you're complete IT dummies, let's just know that the larger these numbers are, the more resources this virtual machine will get for more advanced processing. Let's just leave the settings as default for now. You can play around with them later. Name your machine. We're only halfway there. Hi there, this is Office Ricky. Click the very obvious play button. The machine starts. Now, some of you might run into this confusing page instead. This is because when the machine started, you needed to press a key on the keyboard, any key, to boot the machine. If you missed it, just restart the machine. Now moving on to the setup, you can choose your language and input method. When you're asked to provide a product key, just click I don't have a product key. Accept license terms. You'll then be prompted to choose a location to install your Windows 11. If you don't know what is happening, just go to the next page. The installation begins right after. If for some reason your installation was halted midway and everything started over but now the location selection looks different, I recommend deleting this virtual machine and creating a new one. When it's done, don't start initializing your Windows 11 right away. Go back to the UTM homepage. Scroll down, clear the path that points to the ISO file you used for the Windows installation. Now we can go back to the setup. You will choose your country and language. Set up your account, as well as your security questions. During the process, the system will attempt to download updates and may restart several times. If you did not eject the ISO file earlier, the virtual machine will attempt to reinstall Windows every time it restarts. After a few minutes, you'll finally be able to log into your account. If you look closely, you'll notice the resolution is a bit off. To solve this, open File Explorer and go to E Drive. There is a guest tool that you installed with Windows. Open it and go through the installation. After the machine restarts, the resolution will return to normal. Finally, here are a few more useful tips. If you would like to share files between your Mac and your virtual machine, you can set up a shared folder. Go to the Finder and open a new folder. Then, go to the top right corner of your virtual machine and click on the folder icon. Point it to the folder you just created. Now within the virtual machine, go to the File Explorer and the Network Drive. You'll be able to access the items in the shared folder. If you notice a delay in the cursor, you can enable a feature called Input Capture. This will direct your input devices, like the mouse, to interact directly with the virtual machine rather than going through the host operating system. Press the Ctrl and Alt key at the same time or release your cursor. You can also set this feature to turn on automatically. Go to UTM Software Settings and look for the Input tab. If you'd like to change the scrolling direction, there's an option called Invert Scrolling. Under the Application tab, you can also prevent system from sleeping when any virtual machine is running.